During that time, you know how many drug dealers Jay-Z influenced?
All of them.
You know how many drug dealers that Jay-Z turned regular people into drug dealers?
True. And that's what he regrets.
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, and he regrets Big Pimpin'.
He made
What did he say on that?
Now
I'm gonna do. What did he say on that?
But you gotta think about it. He has daughters now.
Yeah.
Right.
He has daughters now. So his daughters hear these lyrics and they're like, damn, Dad.
He was like, fuck your mom.
He was like, word, like.
Right.
Is that how you feel about mom? Like,
me give my heart to a woman.
How many people?
I'll be forever Mackin'. You know what I mean?
How many people you think thought about Jay-Z lyrics while they was selling to a pregnant girl or some shit like that? You know what I mean? Like, you know,
I definitely thought about
a
touring.
lot.
Right. Like, but so that's what I'm saying. Like,
music hypnotizes you.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I remember listening to. I think it was a fucking CNN song. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, like, you know, the first time, one of the first times that I actually shot at somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about that song. Like, that's the song lyrics was going in my shoot up your block so you could know me. Like, in my mind, I remember, like, I'm like,
you ain't ready yet. Slow down the record.
but that line kept on going in my head. Because I'm like, all right, y'all, like, all right, boom. So this is what it's supposed to be. This is, for my respect, for y'all motherfuckers to know who I am, I gotta shoot up your block. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that song made it okay for me.
Right.
Cause that was like, you know what I mean?
It was your encouragement.
Right.
It was like the theme song to that moment.
I feel bad because he had CNN. You heard the story I told you outside earlier. I had G-Rap.
Right.
Shit was a lot different on my side.
G-Rap was like...
G-Rap was like, kill everybody.
There was no heart. No heart at all.
None.
I had 50 Cent.
Bo, take that with you on your way down.
Right, that was my
you
shit.
Lose.
Right, because of the Ill Street Look. When G-Rap said that shit, he said, up anyway, because I don't play clown.
You know what's so crazy too?
You gotta speak louder because you're not mic'd up. We mic'd up, yeah.
Yo, China Mac is you a powerful artist, bro. You know what I mean? Because like I'm just sitting back on the sideline, you know, just hearing your influence or how music influenced you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, China and Africa, right? China and Africa is not too far apart, right? And you know, a lot of stuff gets imported from Africa, like taken out of Africa, restamped in China, and resold in America, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
You could bridge a gap between two worlds. You know, like
I think that's what he does.
He's doing that current.
Like making that message, right? So instead of saying like, yo, it's a shoot 'em up, like I feel the need, I gotta shoot 'em up to prove myself. I can feel the need. You can have Chinese kids hanging out with African kids, doing business and trading, doing import export in America, and making that kind of vibe powerful through the music. And then your personal finances will grow because you'll be an international artist.
Right.
But I feel like having these other artists from other like cultures and ethnicities talking about those topics, and not necessarily just become a political rapper, because you know you're gonna make the music you want to make.
Right.
But I think that you have a potential and an opportunity to be way more influential than you are.
Right.
Yeah, so.
See now this is where, okay, we talk about the influence thing. All right, yeah, 50 Cent, salute. I rob mad shit, listen to this nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it just was what it was. You know what I mean? Like, yo, throw on that 50. We going to Manhattan tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
talking about what'd you tell Sway? We going on the meow.
On the meow. Facts, on the meow. Like, Sway didn't understand that. He didn't understand that. But is music the way to change the culture of the people?
Yes.
Because
I think it's one of the ways, and it's a big way. You know what I'm saying? Music definitely controls the, you know, it definitely has big influence on the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why all these big corporations, you know, want such big pieces of it, because it actually controls the people, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, whatever's hot, like music can make a brand pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we
Pop
figured
Smoke-
that out.
Pop
figured that
Smoke
out.
started saying Dior, and everybody's wearing Dior. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just so music, but that's just clothing. You know what I'm saying? So if it could have a influence on clothing, what else could it have influence on? You know what I'm saying? Whatever was the whatever's the hot thing is what it would do. And I think what the music industry, I feel like there is a fucking, like, they don't want certain shit to be in the music.
What exactly don't they want?
The shit that's gonna get us like
Together.
right.
Right. They've never played conscious hip hop.
Yeah, they
on Hot
don't
97.
want us to be.
No, conscious hip hop got cut.
Well, you got to remember that conscious hip hop.
That's where it started.
Well, right.
Well,
because
remember
if you listen
Billie
to,
Holiday? They continue to lock her up for singing Strange
singing-
Fruit.
right, Strange Fruit.
Educating
You
people
can't-
about people being hung.
Hung, right.
And every time she sang it, they put
they
her in
locked
jail.
them up. Correct.
Every time.
She ain't
But
like
they gotta
that.
they gotta maintain the status quo. So you know how they use crack back in the day? They use crack back. They use,
No, I need you to talk louder.
They use. No, I'm saying help me project a little better. They use crack back in the day to break down the hood. You know what I
Right.
mean? To break down our communities.
Right.
So now they realize everything gets, advanced and evolves. So music is the new crack that breaks down the communities, and they use music as a way to maintain the status quo and push a certain agenda.
Well,
right? So
it-
hold on, let me say the last
Go
point.
ahead.
Because if you got black males emasculated, right? The
Well-
key, the emasculation, black male emasculation limits us from taking our proper positions, right?
Right.
Correct.
Us growing.
Right.
So we're not talking about America is not a place. America is not a home, it's a hotel. Black people, we the only people that view America as our home, right? So China Black can make
China
over
Mac.
here.
China Mac.
China Mac, right?
Yeah.
He can make music over here, grow and invest back in China.
Right.
Right? A lot of people from other cultures, they have their connection back to their homeland. We disconnected. Right? So music is a way to maintain the status quo. We can't ignore, fraternities, people selling their soul, doing weird shit. I've been in music for a long time.
So let me ask you a question. Wait.
Where we going?
Here's the question.
We just went
Did
left.
you write a,
No, we gotta go
rhyme?
left.
Did you write a rhyme about shooting a nigga before you had a deal or after you had a deal?
both.
Okay,
Look,
so
and I never made a song about shooting a white nigga.
I'm not right. So what happens is this right here. As far as music, right? Music has always reflected the struggle during the '60s, during the '70s, during
Right.
the '80s. The music
Right.
will always reflect the struggle.
It used
What they-
to.
No, it's what they choose to play. Music has never stopped reflecting the struggle. It's what y'all choose to listen to. Anybody that's ever said ain't no good music out here.
No.
then look.
But you gotta understand, at some point, when people started recognizing how big of a business it was,
Yes, the
Right,
success
as far as
story.
hip-hop.
they started to perpetuate
Yes.
the struggle.
Well, no. Think about it.
You understand?
All right. Here's what happened. When music, okay, hip hop didn't take off. Run DMC is pretty much the start of hip hop on its incline.
Right.
Okay, Run DMC.
And what was
Run-
their message?
Now,
Yo,
Run DMC didn't have a message. They
Yes,
was
it
like,
did.
they
Look,
no,
what-
not really.
Well, listen.
No.
Well, listen. All right. When Run DMC, right? Look, let me tell you something. First of all, we got to backtrack real quick.
Right, go ahead.
But Vivendi owns Viacom. Vivendi is a French company.
Right.
You got Vivendi, you got Viacom, you got LVMHs, right?
Okay.
So you got to understand the dynamic.
No, because all of these people, right? Russell Simmons went and started a label. His first publishing deal, meaning who puts out, who presses the wax,
Yeah.
he didn't have a struggle. He dealt all with black people. So all of the music that you heard coming out of the 80s, and you got the Run DMCs and the Curtis Blows, and none of that music had a negative impact. Even if you go back to Sugar Hill when they was talking about what it's like living in the Bronx.
Right.
Right.
But at some point,
Here's where at some point came
it
in.
switched and said,
That some point came at the start of pretty much NWA, the birth of gangster rap.
Right.
NWA was the first rap group that was.
Ice-T was before that.
No,
Ice-T.
but Ice-T wasn't cross country.
We talking about
Yeah, no.
Cop Killer?
No,
He's the
that's
first gangster rap, Ice-T
way.
was.
Cop Killer is way after NWA. Way. NWA, yeah.
You sure?
Trust me on this one. Cop Killer is way after NWA. No,
Let's
it's
see.
way after NWA.
You said Ice-T?
Yeah, Ice-T
Yeah.
Cop Killer is
It
way
was
after
after.
NWA.
Yeah, that's after
That's
NWA.
10 years after NWA.
But you mentioned a point when, look, what was the first thing Run DMC was known for, right? When they
My
a rightness. So they didn't know the power that hip hop had on
They did.
product.
No, they did, because once My Adidas came out,
1992.
the first rap deal
Yeah, you be strong
between
and
the
wrong.
industry, the music industry,
What?
the industry,
Right.
the first
It
rap
was
deal
like
between
in
the
the
music
80s.
industry and fashion
I'll tell you that.
is Run DMC. My Adidas. The minute that they put out that song, Adidas came and said, "We'll sponsor your whole suits and everything else. We'll give y'all all the clothes that y'all
That's the
need
switch.
and every
That's the
sneakers
switch.
that y'all need." That's hip hop and fashion.
Yeah.
Gangsta rap came and NWA was bi-coastal. There was no bi-coastal rappers. You was either East Coast and you had your East Coast shit, and you was West Coast, and West Coast wasn't popping like that. East Coast, West Coast finally brought it all the way across America. When they seen the influence of NWA, not to mention the message, they was like, yeah, we'll support this. Now, when you started hearing on the radio, it went more from the Curtis Blows and the Run DMCs, and then you started hearing the G-Raps.
Right.
There was a time when they would play
88.
G-Rap on the radio. There was a time, right, they would play all of that. Big is as big as he is because of what he said.
Right.
Nas is as big as he is because of what he said. And
But
then when Nas got positive, the second album, you see what Nas happened? You see what happened to that second album, that third album? Right. Never happened.
I want to go even deeper than that. I don't know if y'all remember like watching old like movies about witches and stuff like that, and how these witches would always rhyme.
Yeah.
They would always rhyme, and the reason they call spelling, because it's like
A spell.
you're casting a spell. So like you hear these rhymes, and it's in a musical fashion. It's like a message being pleasantly planted inside of your head.
And they use melody to cast a spell. If you break down the science of like Hollywood, you know, the
Yes,
witches,
yeah.
the branch
How-
that the broomstick that a witch flies
To
on,
cast
is
this
made
up,
from
it's
the
called Hollywood,
Hollywood,
right?
When a magician goes abracadabra,
It's wood, Hollywood.
wood,
Right. So now you couple these lyrics with videos, and you project them, and you see the effect that it has on the community. How responsible do you feel when you go into the studio? You go into the studio.
I tell jokes.
You tell jokes, but again, those jokes also have like it plays
Comedians
a
are
role.
a very different beast in the artist community for two reasons. One, y'all all get to write all of y'all shit way before y'all ever hit a stage. Got the rhymes mastered, got the beats perfect. I don't know if this shit is funny until I stand on the stage. I practice on stage.
Right.
And comedians can actually say the truth, how it is. Whether the joke flies or not, it's Evil Knievel. I'm here for the attempt.
Right.
That's
But in some cases, comedians play up to stereotypes, and that can be detrimental. But this is what I'm saying. Like when you go into the studio, what is your message? What are you feeling? Knowing this information, knowing I can make a song that could become a hit, but it could also put thousands of people in jail.
Right.
Because they'll be influenced the way that I was influenced.
Right. I mean, I haven't really thought of, like, really gave a good critique on that, on myself on that until recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, until recently, I was just like, man, I'm gonna just rap how I rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I knew that, I seen the responsibility, because I knew it, you know what I mean? But I just wasn't ready to change it, you know? Like, we ready to change certain shit when we ready to. Even though we know it's wrong, you feel me? We still gonna do it until we're ready to change it. And I think it was just up to recently, I was just like, yo, man, like, you know, I shouldn't be putting out that message if that's not the message, you know. If I know that messages like that made me do certain shit, you know, I'm kind of out of bounds. Like, I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of doing some fucked up shit.
Being hypocritical.
Right, but, you know, I mean, but it's, I feel like as an artist, we express what we express. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't tell a person who writes a movie like how to write the movie. He's just gonna write them. You don't tell a painter how the fuck he's gonna paint. He's just gonna paint. And I feel like whenever we as artists understand the power that we have with certain shit, that we take that, and whenever we're ready to take that responsibility, we should adjust it. Just like how Jay-Z has, just like how everybody else has. But when you're in the height of it, you know, it's hard to adjust it when there's so much demand for it. Like imagine like when, you know.
It's hard to stop selling crack when the fiends just keep coming back.
It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm rock with you niggas.